I want to start by congratulating you to a beautiful movie.
Thank you.
Beasts of the Southern Wild, and also it's already been awarded Best Film at Sundance. You received 4 awards at Cannes. How does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, it's just kind of catapulted into the world. I don't know. It was a really, really tiny movie made completely outside the film industry. Everybody was doing it for the first time. All the actors, me, the producers, the DP. I mean, everyone was our first time doing this, so we had no idea what to expect. And the movie's just kind of like blazed this trail through the world.
What do you think has made this momentum? Is it the theme of the movie, or?
It's a very inviting movie. It's very, we were really trying to combine, a kind of lyrical, artistic cinema with a sort of bombastic, almost action movie cinema. Try to make a film that had this kind of poetry and lyricism and philosophy to it, but which was, completely accessible, that anybody could watch, that had themes that were universal, and that could kind of tell a story that was like a fable, in the same way a folk tale can be passed from culture to culture and apply everywhere. That's how we conceived the film. So I think something about that, and also just how, the film was made in such an unconventional way that I don't think anybody's seen anything quite like it. So you feel like you raised it, and then now it's just walking on its own, and people seem to get along with it.
And when you say it's filmed in an unconventional way, do you find that to be your trademark?
I don't know if I can say I have a trademark after only having made one film, but I do think it'll be, we sort of, for probably just not knowing any better, not having any training or experience, invented a different way of approaching a film production that was probably a lot more collaborative, a lot more sort of community-oriented, and a lot more grassroots than your average, at least Hollywood film production. And I think that type of system breeds a different kind of film. So it's definitely a method that we're hoping to keep on developing over time.
And for those who haven't seen the movie yet, could you just briefly talk us through the storyline?
Sure. It's about a little girl who lives with her father in this town called the Bathtub that's been cut off from the world by a giant levee water protection system. And it's basically about a series of environmental catastrophes and also mythological disasters that happen, to the two of them, and about them learning how to survive and teaching each other to survive.
But are you personally intrigued by, everything from sustainability to disastrous scenery and a lot that's happening in the world at the moment?
My focus was more about, the local, as it's playing out locally. I live in Louisiana, and you see these towns that are literally disappearing off the map one by one, and these communities that were living completely self-sufficiently 50 years ago that now can barely survive. That was really my concern. Mostly was just kind of the human experience of losing your home.
So bearing in mind you've been awarded, you've been highly praised for this movie, and you're a very young director, do you feel any pressure mounting up to sort of managing people's expectations with your next project?
If you're doing your job, you're creating your own pressure, and I always think about when I'm making a film, I think about, that I want to make myself happy. If I want to feel like I've said what I wanted to say, I want everybody who worked on the film to feel like the film they worked on is the one that they get to see and keep for the rest of their lives, and the actors who act in it feel like they've been represented properly. And so that pretty much fills up your entire kind of pressure capacity. And then, the fact that people are waiting for a new film is actually just a great motivator.
And I read that already at the age of 6, you made your first movie, a Batman movie, with a friend.
Not exactly. I wasn't directing it. My friend, who was also 6, was the director. So I was merely an actor. I remember all through high school, every Friday night was band practice. Every Saturday we'd make a movie. That was just kind of what we did when we were bored. So, there's a lot of horrible, horrible films that I've made in my life, and hopefully no one will ever see them.
But then at the same time, the whole interest and passion for film, whether it's been acting at the age of 6 before your friend, or today a praised director, has that always been in your dreams and in your way of thinking of where you want to be?
I think it took me a little while to figure out that film was what I wanted to do. I always was interested in making things from a very young age, and watching movies was always a big part of my life, but I never wanted to really you know, move to Hollywood and work in the industry and sort of, you know, work in these big, gigantic productions that always seemed kind of terrifying to me. So it wasn't until I started seeing kind of filmmakers who had kind of moved outside and found ways to make films on their own terms and in their own way that I started thinking, you know, this might be something that I want to do with my life. And so a lot of directors like Cassavetes and Herzog and people like that kind of inspired me to, that this was actually a lifestyle that I would enjoy having.
And bearing in mind that you're probably a source of inspiration for young directors, do you have a piece of advice for what they should think about?
Yeah, I would say don't wait around. You know, don't wait for somebody to tell you your script. You know, when you think your script is good, that's when it's good. And make it. You know, don't wait for money. Money will always. If you wait for money, money will never find you. You just gotta like charge forward and hope that you come out the other side. That's always been my strategy. Because
usually money is the thing that is the problem. Financing a movie. Yeah,
but I just have found that until you sort of believe that you can make the movie with or without money, you won't get the money. It's a catch-22, but I always find that you don't want to be a victim and you don't want to be a beggar. You know, you want to empower yourself and know that you can pick up a video camera for $50 and, you know, shoot the film outside with fake cops. You know, there's always a way to tell your story, you know, and the worst thing you can do is sit around for 10 years and not make a film.
I'm just thinking, coming back to your movie, Beast of the Southern Wild, is there a message that you would like that it comes across to the audience, that they take with them when they've seen the movie? We
were trying to sort of create almost like an anthem to a place where, you know, joy and celebration and you know, can actually kind of conquer death. You know, the film has a lot to do with survival and both literally surviving catastrophes and also surviving losing things that you didn't think you could lose. You know, hopefully it sort of creates almost like a national anthem or like a pop song in the honor of that kind of mentality.
Because the film is, I mean, the foundation of the film is a lot about, like you say, catastrophe and Mother Nature, showing the power she has on us people. Is that something that has intrigued and interested you as a person and director?
Yeah, for sure. You know, and I'm always interested in not necessarily the experience of being human, but the experience of being an animal on the planet, and what that means, and sort of understanding. You know, I think that when these catastrophes happen, you feel the degree to which, you know, we're a guest here and we're just an inhabitant here. We can sort of create a bubble where it feels like we're a superior creature, but actually we're just another thing on the planet.
And just a question that I personally was intrigued by, because I love the name of the character, Hush Puppy. Was there any sort of symbolism in that?
Not symbolism. Well, I guess symbolism, but I mean, I think it doesn't translate. Probably in Europe, but a hush puppy is basically like a type of southern junk food. It's like a fried ball of cornbread, and the reason hush puppy was named hush puppy, and this never made it into the movie, but there's a story that her dad used to tell about when she was born and her mom was too sick to cook, and the only thing he knew how to do was make hush puppies, and he says a hush puppy is a warm, good thing, and that's what you are. So we just started calling you Hush Puppy, and so that's where the name comes from.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I really congratulate you on a beautiful movie, and we look forward to viewing your next project.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.